Top story this morning, flooding emergencies in Calgary and in communities across southern Alberta, a dozen communities, in fact, under states of emergency. We heard from Calgary's mayor just a few minutes ago. The Bow River is expected to rise as high as it will go soon. They think within the next half hour or so. We've been showing video of the river almost reaching the underside of bridges where so much vehicle traffic goes at this time of the morning. So let's take you right onto one of those bridges or nearby. There's our reporter, Erin, who's been on this story all night and couldn't get any closer to it for us now. So, Erin, just bring us up to date. What are you seeing now at pretty much first light this morning?
Well, I'd say the biggest story this morning is what you're not seeing. And what you're not seeing is that bridge covered in traffic as commuters head across it into downtown Calgary. Now, normally that bridge would be gridlocked. That's the 10th Street Bridge heading from Kensington over here, which is one of the evacuated communities, and going across the bridge into downtown where those towers are. Now, what you can see behind me is the Bow River. That actually, I heard that you say that it was supposed to crest in the next half hour. We've just heard from city officials it has crested. Now, that doesn't mean that the water won't go up a little bit more, but they believe that this is basically as high as it's going to go, which is very high. We actually have markers on this bridge generally which tell you how high the water is. Right now, the water's above them. So clearly some serious and angry water moving through downtown Calgary.
Erin, just following the city's website with updates is terrific information live. Looks like they're going to have to close more bridges because of just what you said, that the water still could go a little bit higher.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, what you have to remember is two rivers make their way through Calgary. I'll turn you over this way. You can see this is the Bow River heading to the west, so that's to the Rocky Mountains that way. That's the larger of the two rivers. To the south of here, you'll have a smaller river called the Elbow River. That crested earlier in the day, but officials are worrying that that's still, the levels are still going to rise there, and there's a lot of houses right along the banks of the Elbow. That's where a lot of property damage is expected to happen from city officials. So, yeah, they're closing down bridges. They're still making sure that people do not return to their homes. They're saying it is absolutely not safe to go back home because of the high levels of the water.
Exactly. Interesting to hear the mayor say everything is pretty much under control as much as it can be given the severity of the situation. Calgarians responding to this very well. In case anyone wasn't listening to our conversation first thing this morning, Erin, you were talking about how you're from Calgary, born and bred. Share some of your personal thoughts, not just as journalist, but as Calgarian here as you watch what's unfolding there before you.
Well, I know there'll be some fact checkers I went to high school with here, so I wasn't born here like most Calgarians, but I was raised here. And this is something Calgarians, very few of us who are actually born here, have ever seen. The last time we saw water even close to this high was 2005. I've had people wandering by this spot who've come to take a look. Everyone who was here then says it was nothing like this. This is actually a very new plaza. It's just been built. It's called Poppy Plaza. And if I rotate this way, you can see it's actually marking the soldiers who died fighting in the First and Second World War. We're along Memorial Drive, which is why, of course, they built Poppy Plaza here. Now, if I go over here, you can see the water licking up against the stairs of this plaza that was just built. Now, those stairs go down to a bike path. That bike path is probably right there and probably about 2 meters underwater. There won't be any cycling into the core today.
You know what, Erin? I was in Calgary just 2 weekends ago running along that very path, and I was just thinking that's exactly where I was. I'd be about 2 meters underwater. It's extraordinary, the level to which it's risen, and we'll watch to see if it goes even higher. Erin, terrific work with us this morning. Thank you very much for that. Erin Collins, one of our journalists covering the story in Calgary live this morning.
We want to continue keeping an eye on the situation in Calgary right now. Erin Collins has been following the story unfold in Calgary, and he joins us now from one of the bridges over the Bow River. So, Erin, what are you seeing from your vantage point?
Well, this is the 10th Street Bridge, which takes commuters into downtown, and what I'm seeing is not a lot of traffic here. Normally, this bridge would be absolutely jammed right now as people were heading into those towers downtown where the big oil companies operate. Instead, it's empty, and we're seeing the river move down towards these other bridges. That first one is a pedestrian bridge. You can see the water is just a couple meters from touching the bottom of that. That's another way people would normally be commuting. Not a lot of people using it today. And farther in the background, you can see the Peace Bridge, which was put up a couple years ago, over the course of about a year, cost about $25 million. And you can see the bottom of that bridge, which was made by a pretty famous architect, is actually touching the water. So it is in jeopardy. If I turn this way, there's a lot of bridges here in Calgary. You can see another bridge over there with the water whipping down there. So a lot of the bridges sort of, I'm not going to say at risk, but certainly affected by this angry water.
Yeah, and I noticed as you were just showing us the panorama view, there are lots of people on the bridge just watching the raging water. But I gather as well, typically at this time of day, there'd be a lot of traffic. I see some cars and trucks going over the bridge, but I gather lots of people are staying away from downtown. What's your read of things?
Yeah, I mean, there are people here, but if you were to, this would be bumper to bumper, chock-a-block. So this would be absolutely full of cars heading into the office towers. If this was a normal day, people have stayed home. And that's, as you heard earlier in the day, the mayor was telling people to stay home. 25 communities along the two rivers that run through Calgary, the Bow and the Elbow, were evacuated last night and are still being told to stay home. Schools closed. People told not to go into the offices, and that certainly hasn't changed. If you look over this way, you can see police are still, I think you might be able to see that, police are still stopping traffic heading down Memorial Drive, which is keeping people away from our station as well, which is, our station's been evacuated, so is my house actually. So, you know, it's a trying time.
Good to know. Erin, wish you well and everybody else in Calgary well as well. Thanks for this. That's Erin Collins reporting in Calgary.